Some of my background and some of the challenges that I was dealing with prior to starting this program were started about 3 years ago. I was having hamstring pain as well as some SI joint pain, which then exacerbated about a year and a half ago. And during that time, I was seeing a sports medicine doctor, doing physical therapy regularly, but I wasn't getting lasting results. I would feel good for a while, kind of plateau. I'd get progressed to the next level, which was, again, very logical, but I was being more pain than when I started. And I didn't know how to get out of that cycle. I didn't want to walk anymore. Walking was painful. Sleeping was also painful. I was being woken up multiple times in the night with this low back, SI joint pain, sciatica down my leg, just really disruptive in terms of my sleep as well as my daily life. And at that point, I think the doctors they didn't know what to do with me. I kept showing up and they referred me to pain medicine. I had maybe a week before I found this program, a injection into my low back, into my SI joint, to see if we could control the pain that way. Unfortunately, the results were kind of inconclusive. So they put it on me and said, if you want to do a steroid shot, that's fine. We'll get you on a regular schedule. And I was just not feeling comfortable about masking my pain without taking control and figuring out what's wrong and getting to a level, again, where I was comfortable on a daily basis, again, not just masking the pain. The moment I realized I needed to do things differently was when they offered the steroid injection into my SI joint. It felt like this was the only thing that they were willing to do for me at that point. And my husband said it. He was like, you need to take control of your health as well as your pain. And I just didn't know how to do that. I wanted to do it. I just didn't know how. And I was sitting on the couch feeling very sorry for myself. And whatever algorithm worked, that this program popped up, and it was really exactly what I needed. I knew I had to do something. I just wasn't sure what that next step was because I didn't want to resort to a life of just being medicated. Why I joined the chronic hip pain solution is because I watched that video that Dr. Jessica put out, and it felt like she was speaking directly to me. It felt like our pain was similar, that what hadn't worked before, which was kind of being prescribed to me, these very traditional exercises that can help, but maybe if you weren't doing them the right way, weren't beneficial. Again, it felt exactly what I needed. And I was willing to do whatever it took to get better. And it felt like this was the light that was shining at the end of the tunnel. If you are willing to put in the work, the time, the effort, I do think you will have a return on your investment. And unlike my experience with going to both a traditional sports medicine doctor as well as a couple rounds of physical therapy, this really felt like it was catering to you. And Dr. Jessica was there for you throughout this whole journey. Holding your hand, essentially. My ultimate goal was to be as pain-free as possible throughout my daily life, during the night, as well as getting back to an exercise routine that I enjoyed and wanted to do. And I am happy to report that maybe it's not every single day or every single night, but I am so much better than where I was when I started this program. I'm sleeping comfortably. I am still working on maybe getting back to my full strength that I was 3 years ago, but I am now doing the exercises that I wanted to do, which for me was primarily yoga and bar classes, and maybe doing some more lower impact on things like elliptical. I am able to do those. I was able to acknowledge that my body felt different. Of course, it feels different. You're doing new exercises. You're maybe increasing your strength, and it didn't set me back. I was able to take that, acknowledge those differences that maybe I felt a few days before and move on. Where I think prior to this program, any sort of negative change or any sort of sensation, I felt like I was back to ground zero. I would spiral out. And I think that really has to do with the focus that Dr. Jessica puts on the mindset, the mental aspect, the breath work that you learn in this program. I had little wins, I believe, starting end of week 1, week 2. Some of the resources in this program that I found to be the most helpful and I think able to get me to this finish line were definitely the emphasis on mindset, on breath. And for me, that was really the turning point. I felt like I had the physical, I could do all the exercises, but I was still living in fear of bending down, of walking. And the minute I was literally the minute I was able to say, I've got this. I have done this a million times. I think this was something in one of our coaching calls that was really wonderful, that you have been down a million times in your life. You can do this. You know how to do this. Your body has the tools to get you there. And breathing through that. So I think there's belief as well as breath there. It is extremely powerful. So that is, again, something I'm completely grateful for, as well as, I mean, I literally start my day now with some of these mobility stretches that were around from week 1. And I don't foresee those going away. They make me feel good. The advice that I would give to someone who is looking to get out of this pain is that there is an outlet there, that there are resources there, and you are definitely not alone. I cannot emphasize enough putting in the work and the time, and also taking advantage of all of the resources that are available to you. I had that realization kind of from my husband, as well as this program, that's like, we have to heal ourselves. But if you don't know the pathway to take, use all of these resources, that you are in no way limited, and try everything. There's nutrition that's available, meditation, as well as the coaching calls. Even if you can't make them live, I felt that even rewatching them was very beneficial too. I would say to someone that is skeptical joining this program that this really has been one of the things to change my life. And so there is a path out of pain, and you will not be alone in this journey. And I think that maybe is what separates this program and working with Dr. Jessica than maybe just going through a traditional hospital PT option. I felt that when I came to a stumbling block, there were so many opportunities for me to work through it. And maybe that was hearing from people on a coaching call what they've either went through or going through. That was being able to set up a one-on-one with Dr. Jessica. And because of that, you just didn't feel alone. I do think being in chronic pain is stressful enough, and having the support to get through that is invaluable.